All right, we are back with Medicare expert Melissa Hall. I want to pick up where we left off, and I wanted you to touch upon what tomorrow means for everybody when it comes to enrolling for medical coverage, and what we could potentially see with this Affordable Care Act potentially being on the chopping block.
Okay, absolutely. So tomorrow is the last day of the Medicare annual enrollment period. It starts October 15th through December 7th, and this is the time of year where all Medicare beneficiaries can change either their Medicare Advantage plans called Part C or their Part D prescription drug plans, or go back to original Medicare. It is a hard stop at 12 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. So if you want to make any changes on your plan, if you want to get a new plan, tomorrow is that deadline. So you definitely want to make sure you give someone a call.
Yes, yes. The Affordable Care Act on the chopping block. Your thoughts on that?
Listen, so the Affordable Care Act is such an amazing thing that has provided coverage to millions, okay? If they take this away, it's going to be so many people who are uninsured. So I'll tell you, I got started in the insurance industry a little bit before the Affordable Care Act came into fruition. And it was just heartbreaking to hear people who needed heart transplants, who had a COPD, who could not get coverage for their insurance, and to hear that these companies would not insure them was heartbreaking. So this Affordable Care Act is giving people a chance to not just live a better life, but to exist, period. So it cannot go anywhere, and honestly, I don't think it will. Okay, I do think, now I will say this, the Affordable Care Act, it does need to be revamped. Costs are up, okay? Costs are up. The out-of-pocket costs on it are just crazy. The premiums are crazy. Just to give you an idea, me personally, last year I paid $183. Okay, with the subsidy for my plan. This year for that same plan, they want me to pay $382. Something's broken, it needs to be fixed.
You know, when we think about the Affordable Care Act, people can never overplan. If something does happen to that, what are the other alternatives? Or is that the reason why people are so frozen and that we really run out?
Could you say that last sentence again? You said out?
Yes. Yes. So in terms of the Affordable Care Act, if it does end up on the chopping block, what are the alternatives that people have to look to?
If the Affordable Care Act leaves, let me tell you this, they either will have to go through they're going to have to go through underwriting to get covered. And again, there will be a lot of insured people. There will be a lot of dead people. And that's just the bottom line. A lot of people are going to die if they get rid of the Affordable Care Act because these insurance companies are not going to take them. Let me tell you something. The average hospital stay is costing over $50,000 a day. If an insurance company knows that you're a person who constantly is going to the hospital, you're a big risk. Why would they take you? If there's no law instilling that, we've seen it happen before. It can't go anywhere. And one of the things, just to let you know here, the Affordable Care Act affects people who are 65 and younger. What is affecting seniors right now is something called the Inflation Reduction Act. The Inflation Reduction Act was a measure passed by the current administration that is supposed to cut seniors' out-of-pocket drug costs to $2,000, which is amazing. And that is the big change that we're seeing. But the real change is what we are not seeing. In order to, yes, ma'am. So in order to be able to afford that cap on the drugs, they are increasing the amount of money that insurance companies have to pay from about 25% to about 60%, and also the drug manufacturers. Now, like I said, the story here is what you don't see, which are plans leaving, okay? That 1.8 million people, okay, will know their plans are not renewing across the nation, all right? Also, too, the out-of-pocket costs are up on almost every Medicare Advantage Part C plan, which over 30 million people are on. 54% of the 64 million Medicare beneficiaries are on these plans, and their out-of-pocket costs are going up. So from about $4,000, I've seen it max out to $9,300. It's scary.
Wow. Yeah, Melissa, great information, not very comforting. I want to bring in my panel here. We've got Joy. I want to start with you. A question for Melissa.